It always comes to this. More nice shit. Hello there guys, back again to do another tattoo progress update. Where I last left off, I believe I had showed off the highlighted face tattoos with the black and white, which are fully healed now. And I showed off the reworked armpits, or sorry, the color added to the armpits for the second time, and the color added to the eye. Now both of those have healed up pretty well. The armpit did better than the center, but we're going to be heading back to the center. Me and Rick are going to be heading back to the center of the eye pretty quick here, so I'm not going to talk too much about that in this video. I'll get to that in the next one, as I've had 2 sessions this week, and they'll be both. I'll talk about both of them separately. Too much to say for one video. Anyway, obviously, there was a reason I have to talk about this one first. Is it's on my head again. So anytime I'm doing one of these progress updates, if I've got a few things going on and one of them's on my face, obviously that's gonna be the one that we talk about first. Yeah, I had planned to do these anyway. Terry had some time, and we decided to rework the roses again too. So now this is, I think, the 5th or 6th time those have been done. I can't remember now. So yeah, 2 passes red, 2 passes white, and then we did opaque gray this time. So this one's actually a little bit better than the other one. I don't know what the reason for that is, but one side came out a little bit better than the other. Just sometimes the ink goes in better in one place than another, I guess. In either case, it's going along the way I wanted. These leaves here, as I showed off before, were actually bats originally. They were built off of my existing head tattoo that I have on the top of my head. And the bats were like silhouette bats, and they weren't really flattering, so Lee changed some of the leaves. That was done with white and black on black as a cover-up. That was back in like 2018. Anyway, I wanted to kind of spruce them up and do some more white on black stuff in there, so, and to match them up with everything else we've got going on. So I decided that today, or that was the day. I actually did just do a little bit on it. Yesterday, when Terry did these for me, he missed just one spot here, so that was done today to equal out the one side and the other side. Just such a small little thing, but I noticed it right away, so I sat down for 5 minutes and Terry straightened it out. Anyway, yeah. Yesterday was the day we got at it. I just wanted to do the leaves, but Terry wanted to do the roses again. He had the white out, and I said to him, I think the roses are light enough now. What I think needs to happen is we need to change the color of them. I think that the real trick to getting that pink out is to introduce a different color into the equation. So rather than loading up and using the white again, I said, why don't we try and not lighten it this time, but cover it with a different color, shade or whatever you want to call it in this case. So that's where the I suggested opaque gray. We ended up going with smoke silver to go over it, and like I said, this side is perfect. If anything, that's going to darken or light. I don't actually know. We'll either darken or lighten, but the pink is like completely gone over here now. There's a little bit of pink still in this one, but that might change too. It's impossible to say right now, but the idea is I want them to look sort of more like that tone so that all of this stuff matches up nice. As we see, like, we're creating like consistent tones throughout the face and neck. I want to get that into the head too, which will mean eventually I'm going to end up shaving my hair off and redoing that as well. Kind of trying to match all of that stuff up that's going on up there. That'll be a long road type thing. I don't know if I'm ready to part with my hair yet. Some people like me better with hair. Some people like me better bald. I'm kind of in between. I like being bald sometimes. When you got a full head tattoo, it's kind of it's like, it's always a temptation to be bald again. Like you always want to just like live that life and really own that you've got your full head tattooed. And but I also think one day I might be bald forever and I might not have the choice. So living with some hair for a while wouldn't be a bad thing either. It's always a tough choice for me. My wife prefers me with hair. She doesn't like the bald look so much. It definitely does harden me. I feel like I look quite a bit older when I'm bald. But obviously I'm wearing the pompadour today because whenever I get my head tattooed, I like to keep my hair out of my face, to keep my hair off my head. So this is the go-to style for that. It's the funny thing about this hairstyle is I started wearing it and it's very polarizing. I always find it funny the reactions I get on not just social media but just in daily life too. It's, you know, you can be fully covered in tattoos and facial tattoos and facial piercings, but the minute you have a crazy hairdo, it's like, holy crap. Just a side note on that story, one of my TikToks went super viral and I had like a really normal haircut at the time. I was still growing my hair out, just back probably about 6 months ago, just when I had it brown and short. And one of the top comments was, holy crap, could his hair be any more basic? Now it's like, couldn't be any less basic. But anyway, just a side note. I love getting my head tattooed, so if this needs another 2 or 3 passes, I'm good with that anytime. I don't mind sitting down. I could probably sit down for a head tattoo every day of the week and be just fine with that. I really enjoy it. It's one of those tattoo sessions that's just super chill. You feel like you could, you know, fall asleep. It's not that it isn't any pain at all. It's just there's not a lot of change in the sensation, so it's very rhythmic and you can kind of get lost in the process. It's like you get used to the feeling and eventually it just kind of goes into the background of it's not in the forefront of your mind. I find that there's some sorts of pain that become very meditative for me. Like I can get really lost in the process and I just think a lot about life, and the head tattoo's always been one of them. Chest tattoo, and anytime I get my arms tattooed, it's a little bit like that too. And thicker skin I find easier. The thinner skin I don't like so much. Like some people really don't like getting their knees or elbows tattooed, but those are really easy spots for me. What I don't like is places like the love handle or the inner thighs or the lower back where the skin is a little bit stretchy. Anyway, enough about that. So, yeah, again, we used opaque gray this time. We used smoke, I think it's called, intense smoke. It's like a highlight silver. So I'm hoping that'll be the end of the pink in there. Again, this is the 3rd time we've tried to cover like white over red. And I said back in August when I did it, I don't know when the video went up, but I did that white on black pass or white on red pass back in August. And I had said I was, dedicated to doing the white as many times as I could to get it to work. But I've been seeing all kinds of crazy possibilities, and I'm just wanting to try and push the envelope a little bit more than just white. Like I'm starting to really think about all the different things you can do to cover things up and how they're not very well examined, or people don't talk about all the different options out there. And I'm kind of to some extent wanting to dedicate my body and my journey to exploring all kinds of different alternatives. And I'm happier with the result of the silver so far than I was with the white last time. The white, I could see the pink through it more. This is bolder. It's got more of its own assertive color rather than just kind of lightening tones. It's changing the tone. It's changing the color behind the tone. So if I decide that if this darkens, because it might darken, I'm not actually sure, to a level that I'm not okay with, then I can go back in and lighten that. Now that I've taken the red tone out, I can go back in and lighten it with white, so that I would get more of a white silver. Whereas I think this one over here is going to need one more pass of the silver to get it up to speed. The leaves are just a clear upgrade. There's just no way around that. And now the only thing that's going to bother me about that is the tip of the tiara connected to my head tattoo is going to be out of sync with that. So I might even just in the meantime have Terry run like Panthera black around the edges, because this is done dynamic, and get that to the same black. And I might even put some silver into the tiara and the negative space just to tie it in. And then if I shave my hair later, I can do the rest. But just because it's standing out right now. A couple other things I want to do is I want to reline this, like these two with Panthera, the quotes above my eyebrows. And also I've got some more stuff to do further back on my head again. But the next session I have with Terry will either be doing second pass of white in the roses, just one, just the white, because the black doesn't need to be done again. And it's not because these aren't clear. As you can see, they're super clear. It's just second pass will make the contrast even more. And I'd like to get them just a little bit brighter long term. I don't know if that's going to happen next, or if we're going to do the dots in this palm, because that's something we've talked about. We've also talked about touching this one up, but I want to give this just a little bit more time to heal. Again, it's pretty close to fully healed. We're not losing any more now, but it's still a little bit dry in the morning, and palms do take a long time to heal. We did get most of it, but there's just a few spots that need to be done again, and so yeah, we'll hit that again. But yeah, I've got all kinds of little plans with Terry still. I told him the other day I've got about 15 things in mind right now, and the more we do, the more ideas I have. So he's gonna have plenty of work for me over the next few months, and yeah, I'm really excited about all the stuff we're getting done right now. So again, really cool. Somehow this one didn't come out as silver, but they both look pretty good, and the leaves are just a clear win for sure. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day.